Hola, ¿cómo está?
Welcome back.
Muy Miguel es tu mama and es we mama. Welcome.
What he
What
said.
he said.
We're trying to be bilingual. I'm learning.
So, guys, we hope you are here on purpose because you want to kiki and spill that tea on the finale of Canada's Drag Race Season
Woo!
1.
My name is.
This is episode 10, and it was titled You Wear It Well.
You wear it well.
Each of our three finalists were required to create their own verse, their own choreography to the dance. They had to learn the choreography. I don't think they created it.
So live performance of a new
They had
version
to
of
create their own verse. They had to learn the choreography, and they had to create the costumes, help create the costumes that they wore for this challenge, which was the main challenge, where they lip synced and created their own verse to RuPaul's You Wear It Well.
You wear it well.
So let's start with that. What did you guys think about that performance?
50-50.
Really?
Yeah, I thought, like I was telling you guys before, I thought
Pretty well. As far as writing their own verses, they did pretty well.
their
Right.
performances for the unique portions of the songs, all three of them did really well. They were unique. Their lyrics were great. They all could sing. They all had their personality in there. But when they were doing just the basic song with all three of them together, none of their lip syncs was good. It was really off.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I actually really, really enjoyed this performance. It was fun. It was flirty. It was energetic. But like you said, like both of you guys mentioned, the verses that these girls created were on point. Not only did they very much show us and tell us about their character and show us a little bit of their journey from the beginning to where they're at now, based off of the maturity and the growth that we saw in them, but it was just like, whoa. And let me just say, they all did a great job. I think Rita should have tightened up her choreography just a bit in some places, not the whole time, just a bit in some places.
Great. Oh, the French was so good.
But I'll tell you, man, Scarlett's performance,
yeah,
I loved it. She did that death drop. She did she did all of her high kicks. She was waiting for this performance. And we'll talk a little bit later about another performance, but she was waiting for this performance. You could tell she gave it her all. They all did. They all really tried.
It was special for us as an audience because we had not seen Scarlett perform yet. So we didn't know what she was bringing to the table.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying. It's like, I thought it was such a treat because you guys know me. Just let's remind everybody before we announce the winner and everything. So yeah, if we haven't said it, spoilers, you guys, we are announcing the winner soon here. So if you don't want to know, turn it off and go watch it right now. But otherwise, I am hashtag Team Scarlett.
What's my name? Priyanka.
Hashtag Priyanka for that guy. Wait, go over there. And for the beautiful Dwanda.
I am hashtag Rita Vega.
So we were all over the place. We each had somebody. And the funny part is that all three of us loved all three of these top finalists, top three.
I would have been happy with any win.
Yeah, we all agreed that we would not have changed the top three for anything. I think it was perfect the way it was. That's who it was meant to be. But I thought it was very cool and unique that all of us were on a different, team. So that was interesting.
Got comments in the house. Hold up, guys.
We'll see who wins at the end of this stream.
A whole bunch of new people. Welcome, new folks. Come on through.
Sarah Audios. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for live streaming. It means the world to me. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm so glad that it means that much to you because that's what we're here for. We're here for you guys. We love doing this because we love to be here for you guys. We could just sit and chit chat like this all day long without recording it. That's what we actually do. So, we do this because we want to extend that to you guys too, and give you guys some valid entertainment.
They're talking in the comments about us showing the episode. We can't show the episodes.
We can't show the episode.
It's copyright. They'll take our YouTube channel away.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be sad. I'm sorry. Oh. But yeah, so yeah, we are discussing the episode. But if you want to stick around, or if what you want to do is hit that save button or that like button, it will automatically go into your liked playlist, and then you can come back and watch it later after you watch the episode.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys are thumbing up the stream. You're liking the stream. Even if you just like RuPaul, please thumbs up the stream for RuPaul. If you guys haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you are notified. Hit the bell every time so you're notified every time we upload, because we upload multiple times a week. We go live a couple times a week as well.
Yeah.
Then with all of that, out of the way now, let's just say, so then we get our runway. And I'm not sure. Did anybody write down what the theme specifically was for that runway?
It was just best of is represent yourself.
The best of represent yourself. I didn't think it had an actual title to it.
No.
Okay, so let me start with that. We see Rita comes out first, and Rita, gorgeous as always, comes out in all green paint, face paint all over the head, the neck, the hands, because her arms were covered. So I'm sure it made it easier for paint wise.
I thought it was fine for a different challenge, but if that's your best drag, that's what you want to represent yourself. I don't know.
And it didn't to me. Okay, so she came out and she had this silvery, like metallic almost looking beautiful gown, but at the same time it brought me back to previous judge critiques where I noticed that silhouette was just hourglass and you couldn't move in that thing, and that was the whole point of the conversations that she had previously about not being able to move in her gowns.
Right.
So I thought that was funny. So I think she did that on purpose though, to play on that, because we see then we see later that she takes the gown, the skirt part of it off, and it's got like the dress pants on now.
Yeah.
And that top, which looked amazing. But Rita was supposed to be this alien-esque thing, because when Rita first came out, Rita's workroom entrance look was this young, as she described it, this young alien, this baby alien.
Definitely a cool concept. How she grew.
Right. And I like that. I like that because it was very, very couture, alien-esque. But I'm sorry, I have to point this out. All I saw when I looked at it was not alien. I saw Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, I saw a female Hulk.
Oh, or that. Yeah, She-Hulk. But it was just, that was all I could see was the Wicked Witch of the West. And it,
yeah, like I said, as a costume or an alien theme, it would have been fine. But as your best drag, what represents you? That was an odd choice.
I think she could have done better, honestly.
I agree.
Priyanka could have done better too. Priyanka's fine. It was cultural.
We're not there yet. And then our second out was Scarlett. Scarlett wore a beautiful red wig, which I think Scarlett looks great in red. I love when she wears a bright red lip too. Looks great in the red. It really pops her features. But this gown that she had, oh my goodness, it was so Scarlett. It was very fancy and corseted like towards the top, and then it came down and then it flared out towards the legs, but it had a ripple flare.
Scarlett's representation of the final challenge was what I always see in the final challenge. It was, what is your best you? Just you don't have to have a theme. Just what is your best you? And Scarlett went with that. It was beautiful.
Yes,
it was beautiful.
And it really was. But it was still very much Scarlett, like you said.
And it was not costume.
She had the high boots on that looked like they had the studs on them. And then, it was just, the little, at the end, the little like, yeah. And it was like, it was totally Scarlett. It was that little bit of rocker mixed with some classy, elegance. And I love the way that Scarlett is able to blend those two those two types of styles, just mold them together like that. Like, I think it's great. So then our third was Priyanka. Priyanka came out third. Priyanka was in a traditional Indian type of garb.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, let's just say, it was beautiful. Beautiful. And I liked what Pri said. Pri said, you know, that she's glad that she can do this because, and that's why she named herself Priyanka, so that people will remember her name.
What's
and
my
so
name?
she can represent for this Caribbean. She said Caribbean in there. I don't remember all of what she said, but I heard Caribbean, and then I heard, you know, Indian, which we know that that's obvious. That's very prevalent, but this Indian culture. And I like that, for those of you who don't remember, because it has been mentioned a few times, Priyanka used to teach children. I believe it was grade second, wasn't it second or third?
Yeah.
Somewhere right around there. And Priyanka's big thing was, you know, I know you guys are used to seeing me one way, but now look at me this way. And I love that because those were teachers and people in my life when I was younger that I needed. You didn't have to talk to me about sexuality. You didn't have to talk to me about anything that somebody would seem as taboo. But it was simply about telling you how to be true to yourself, be unique, and love yourself for that uniqueness. And you know, go out in the world and show the world who the fuck you are.
Who told the story in the beginning of the season about getting shot at? Was that this?
Oh,
was that?
I think that was Ilona, wasn't it?
Was it Ilona?
I think it was Ilona.
Was it? I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Yeah, I remember though when they did discuss that. I could totally be wrong, but I think it was Ilona.
For some reason, I started thinking it's Priyanka. It wasn't Priyanka though.
No, it wasn't Priyanka. But
I could be wrong, but I swore I heard her say that she hasn't even come out to her father yet.
I'm not sure. Don't quote yourself on that because I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. Obviously it'd be like, okay, you know now, but you know, after being on the show, it's like, oh, surprise, Dad. I have a new show I want you to watch. But yeah, so then we find out. Oh, and we didn't even mention the guest judge for the evening was oh my God, I'm drawing a blank now.
I just spit it out now.
Well, anyway, okay. When we remember, we'll come back to it. Anyway, she was fabulous. I think she was fabulous.
A lot of fun. She had the spirit of a finale. She was just cheering everybody on. She really had everybody's back. She didn't care who won.
Everything. It was wonderful. It was on point.
Oh my God! Yeah, when they were watching the lip sync, she was just going off. It was great.
Well, then we find out that we're not going to have 2 or 1 or 3 or 10. Well, yeah, 3. But we are going to have a 3-way lip sync for the crown.
Lip sync. Mm-hmm.
Bum, bum, bum. Changing up the rules in season 1 already. Look at them getting dangerous.
They've done it before. They did it in season 3, and
yeah, but this is not. It wasn't expected, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you saw that in the girls' eyes. They're like, wait, what? Now Scarlett was very anxious, and you could see it. Scarlett was very excited, but very much like, oh my God, am I going to do it? Can I kill it? Can I slay it? And you could see it running through her mind because remember now, Scarlett is the only one who has not had to lip sync this entire competition. She has not been in the bottom this entire competition.
Yep.
So she has been waiting, and so have we, because we wanted to see what she had to offer. Like, we've seen these other performances and stuff, which she did great on, but a lip sync is something completely different because the energy's there. You know, it's now or never. It's do or die. Like, this is your time. And Oh my God. Let's get into talking about that lip sync. First of all, let me also say, I know there was big spoilers out there and everybody was all like, Shania Twain's going to be the final lip sync song. Because as most of you know, Shania Twain is from Canada. We did not get a Shania Twain final lip sync song. But
we did not.
We had a very emotional, heartfelt, and very memorable performance. I honestly have to say, like I was telling these guys, I feel like the finale of Canada's Drag Race was my favorite episode of the season. And if only for the performances that we got to see in this episode.
I think the whole, like I was telling you when you said that, I think the whole season is my favorite in the series. And this was really just captured the spirit of this season in this finale. That it was very simple.
I mean, like what took so long to get here? Like, why did we have to wait so long before we got to see our neighbors do Drag Race? You know,
right. I would prefer seasons of Canada every year over what we get. Canada's fantastic.
Well, for now, knock on wood, it is the first season, and we never know what it'll morph into or who gets a hold of it. And especially when we see how Rue's not really involved, which let's mention that Rue never made an appearance. I waited and waited because I was hoping, okay, we're going to get a Rue appearance, like live appearance by the finale. If anything, by the finale, surprise the girls and everything. Right? Because to be on Drag Race and not meet RuPaul is almost like a slap in the face, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't care if it's UK. I don't care if it's Thailand. Like, just even once, make one appearance or even pre-taping. But they didn't do that.
Yeah, she was there on the video screen every single week.
No, not every week. We actually only saw Rue on that screen probably like a handful of times.
Really? I thought it was there every week. Normally.
No, I thought so at first too, but then there were times where the judges or the guest hosts would just come in and start talking to them, and they skipped over that whole watch the screen thing. They only did it for a few challenges. Yeah.
Well, she put her name on it. She put her face on it. Yes. Put Michelle on it. You couldn't show up. Even by
at least we got Michelle Visage once this season as a guest.
You could show up a satellite. Just there to address them live.
Yes.
But we won't rag on Rue. It is what it is.
No. We're not going to rag on Rue. I mean, you can only do what you can do. And when you're popping out a new series every other day, I mean, I get it. But make some kind of an appearance is all I'm saying, because I think it would have been motivational and phenomenal for the queens to feel that they met their idol. Because that's why they're there for Rue, because of Rue. Not for Rue, but because of Rue. Without Rue, they wouldn't be there. So let's talk about this lip sync. My goodness. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about So I will talk about Scarlett. I'll go first. Scarlett killed it. And this is what, like I said, what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting to see the lip sync performance and how Scarlett would pull it off and what kind of energy she would bring, what kind of moves she would have, what kind of superhuman type of moves, just, all the surprises. And we were not disappointed. Mwah, 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 mwah. I could eat this up and watch it over and over again.
It really was great.
Juicy.
Priyanka had a moment in there. Becca had a moment in there. It was
they all had their moment.
Yeah, and it was
each
great.
one was shining. And when they shine, what I liked about that guest is they make sure they spotlight it right when they're shining. The one moment
shined. Scarlett was the one that completely shined in this whole thing because that was the first time we got to see her.
Well, and I'm kind of like me and Dawn had pointed out watching it. Rita was there, and I love Rita. I'm not by any means, bringing Rita down. She didn't seem to be giving it her all.
No, she was holding back, or she was scared, or who knows what. But she did have a moment.
I think what happened was she started looking at her competitors and knowing these are my girlfriends, these are my squirrel friends, these are my sisters. And obviously, you know, somebody's got to win. You don't want to be the one to beat everybody, but you want to win. So I get all that's going through your mind and in your head. But I feel like she was watching their performances, and especially Scarlett's, because you could see how Rita was looking at Scarlett. And Priyanka and Rita knew that Scarlett has never done this. They have not seen this. They did not know what was coming. And I think Rita was kind of like, damn, like, did I just lose this? Because Rita realized that Scarlett came to play. Scarlett was not joking.
Rita's lip sync really was hurt by that. Because when she started getting in her head, she lost her lip sync almost completely. It's almost like she was not lip syncing.
And she was really into it at first. When it first started, like, she seemed passionate and in it, and she was all for it. And then, like you said, I think she got in her head about midway through or so. And yeah, you could see the downturn. You really could. And again, her choreography wasn't as tight as the other girls was. So, you know, I felt for her. I did. Yep. But did I think Rita was going to win it? I did a little bit at one point because of some of the edits, the way they did the edits.
When Rita had that lip sync, it's still the best lip sync in RuPaul's franchise, period. I'm sorry. That lip sync was phenomenal. I thought she's got this. And she lost. She got in her head. She lost
got in her head.
Yes.
But where I knew Priyanka was really going to shine.
I adore Rita Vega. She's one of my favorites.
Down in the competition, she started to shine because she all of a sudden woke up. She's like, wait a minute, I could lose this for myself. And then her personality, just her personality started to shine. And it was so natural. And that's where I thought Priyanka had a shot. That's why I rooted for her last week.
Okay. So with all of that being said, we then find out it is now time to crown our queen. And there's a lot of, you know, anticipation. There's a lot of
on me.
And then it was like, bam. And we know that they had filmed all 3 crownings ahead of time. So there wasn't a good leak that told us who was going to win or anything. So we all watched it live and figured it out.
I love the way Brooklyn did it. She's like, what's her name? Because that's Priyanka's thing. What's my name? Really
and right then I was like, ah! So go ahead, Mike, announce it.
Announce it.
My girl, Miss Priyanka, is Canada's first diva bitch in your face. Snap, snap.
Good for her.
Yeah, it's a great win. Alpha, any of them would have been a great win, but Priyanka's a great win.
And I think any of them would have represented the crown and Canada very, very well and proudly.
And what's funny is I kind of lost Priyanka there in the middle. I was kind of like, oh, I wasn't feeling her. And then
the judges kind of made a comment about that. They said, you know, we watched you about halfway through this competition where you suddenly were just like a butterfly that blossomed, and like you opened up and you were Priyanka. You were that bitch.
Yep.
You know?
She was putting on a show in the beginning of the competition.
My name. What's my name?
Right. She was putting on a show at the beginning of the competition. She was showing out. Then she got kicked down, and then she came out. And that's when she really shined.
And honestly, I feel like this cast this season, like, I think we all agree that this is going to go down in history as one of our favorite seasons of Drag Race, period.
So personal, so good.
I do want to talk about the fact that they did bring all of the other queens back.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in Drag Race in a while.
And they did. They brought all the queens back.
We all had a runway.
When they sent the girls back to deliberate and untuck, as they decided, you know, who would win this crown. And as we go back into the room, we see all the girls are there and in their fanciest, best drag, looking amazing. And then each girl got to, after they had their chit chat, each girl got to go down the runway for their last, best, and final look.
What I liked about that was that was a real, you know, tribute to what they do on the main show. That, you know, all the girls get their big one moment, their name called at the beginning of the number, at the very, very beginning of the show, and they get to walk that big long runway, you know, in that live theater, and their name called. So I like that they did this for Canada, even though it was simple, even though it was right there in the studio, they still got their name called, and they still got to walk their best drag as if they were in the finale, and I like that.
And I want to point out, I was so sad yet again. I know I've mentioned it a couple times. I don't know.
Like Wakanda, that's who the story it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was very sad when I saw Juicebox because I was like, this girl is gorgeous. I thought that from the jump. As soon as she walked into the workroom, I was like, oh my God, this could be a front runner. Like, it's going to depend on personality and, you know, appearances and how you act and behave and carry yourself as well. But just based on look alone, and I'm not saying looks like pretty or ugly, I'm saying just overall drag look. Like, this to me was a gorgeous drag look. And then we find out that Juicebox has a gorgeous drag look and is actually very famously in that area known for her drag look. So I was so sad that we didn't get to see more because she was the first queen eliminated, you know, day one. So we didn't get to see anything from her. And I just think I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know her personality, but I really feel like there's going to be an all-stars that she's going to get to be a part of.
I hope so.
Well, there's been a lot of noise with the fans.
Besides Vanjie, I don't think she's ever done that. And there's been some on the main show that have been.
They're switching up all the rules all the time for everything, right?
What?
That's true.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, anything can happen. Absolutely, and especially with Canada, because I feel Canada is the most genuine of all the series that they've had. It's been the most like real. Oh my network. Oh, that's good.
All right.
So we have crowned our queen, everyone. Our queen. Say my name. What's my name? Priyanka.
And that guy.
So before we wrap up here, guys, one, do we have a wand?
No, I'm just using latest wand.
So before we wrap up, and I wanted to do this at the top of the show, but I kind of held back because I wanted us to be able to talk about the show unbiasedly. I just kind of want to do like a simple shout out PSA, just to be a kind human being kind of thing. I just want to say that in regards to Jeffrey Boyer Chapman and all of the negative backlash that he got this season, I think it was uncalled for by the fandom. I think, are you allowed to critique your judges? Your just like your contestants, you're damn straight. But there's a difference between constructive criticism and just plain mean and nasty bullshit.
I critiqued them all season, but I was never mean.
Right, you are very fair with your critique. You never said anything about him as a person. Nope. You talked about him specifically, his behavior, how he was doing on the show.
And gave him credit where he needed credit, and gave him praise when he needed
and a lot of people did that, but there's way more people who didn't do that. And unfortunately, this poor man basically went off of social media, shut down all of his social media accounts because of all of the hate mail and the trolling that he has been getting. It got so bad to the point where this poor man was getting death threats, people telling him to kill himself, people telling him he should be ashamed of who he is and that he's a phony and a poser and all this stuff, when it really bothers me because to come from the RuPaul fandom to a judge that they didn't like is the complete opposite of what RuPaul started this whole thing for.
This fandom toxic.
And exactly. And people, you can't change everybody, and some people are never going to change. But what I can say is let's try to be a little kinder each day. And that right there will change the world. Even if it's somebody you don't know, you don't like.
What really pisses me off.
Don't like how they talked.
What really pisses me off about the toxicity to the RuPaul fandom, especially. RuPaul is filmed like 6-9 months in advance. There's no way that these people can have any type of response.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember what I did 6 months ago. How am I going to respond to that? How am I going to course correct that? It drives me nuts.
Yeah. So just overall, all I'm saying is, please, you guys, just stop bashing on poor Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. The guy's not that bad of a guy. He's actually a really good actor. If you guys have ever seen any of his work, he's actually a really good actor. I think he was nervous. I think he got this job and he was doing a job for he idolized, and he just took it to heart, as in, I'm going to be like my idol. And it's
fun for him.
I think once we got halfway through the season and he started just like the girls, and that's what this whole thing is about, is the growth experience. Because as we got about halfway through this season, we saw a different side of him. Once he kind of stopped trying to be somebody else and he was Jeffrey Boyer Chapman,
And
we saw him ask these questions of the girls. We saw him talk personally with them. We saw him give great advice and great life advice, great critiques. And you know, I mean, he wasn't all that bad, guys.
What people remember about him, he's young.
Yes.
He's very young.
Yeah.
How many years ago did they just did Love, Simon? And they were teenagers then when they did Love, Simon.
He's in his mid to late 20s, I believe.
Yeah, if that. He's young, very, very young. And it's like, he's having the highlight.
So again, we're bullying a kid on top of that. So
RuPaul loves him. And so, of course, he was going to act silly.
Exactly.
And, you know, you learn from that. That's an experience.
Well, and my whole point, I mean, I'm gonna drop it, but my whole point is, like I said, is that it defeats the purpose, because it's the opposite of what RuPaul started this whole thing for. When they tell you, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Hallelujah.
All right, guys, with that being said, we will be back to see you guys later this week with more. We'll be back tomorrow with some Vegas for you guys. RuPaul's Vegas Live.
If you're not watching Vegas, go catch up. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
We are on episode 3 of the Vegas Live review, RuPaul's Vegas Live review. So go check that out. Meet us back here tomorrow at 7:30 Pacific, 9:30 Central, and we will chat and kiki with you guys all about Vegas. With that being said, we love you. We love you for being here.
Oh, yeah. And
one of your hosts, Irish Nelly, along with that guy and the beautiful DeWanda. We'll see you guys in the next one.
And Nuka. Bye.
Bye, bitches.